वासिजत वैष्णवेरा गान प्रथमे वंदना करी सवारा चरण वृंदावन वासिजत वैष्णवेरा गान प्रथमे वंदना करी सवारा चरण नीलाचल वासिजत महाप्रभु रागान भूमि ते पोड़िया बंदो साबारा चरण नीलाचल रागान भूमि ते पोड़िया बंदो साबारा चरण नवद्वीप वासी जत महाप्रभुर भक्ता सबारा चरण बंदो हयानुरक्ता नवद्वीप वासी जत महाप्रभुरा भक्ता सबारा चरण प्रणति जे देशे वैसे गौरंगे रागान ऊर्ध्वा बाहु करी बंदो सबारा चरण जे देशे वैसे ऊर्ध्वा बाहु करी बंदो सबारा चरण हया छे न हये तेना प्रभु रजत दास सबारा चरण बंदो दंते करी घास हया छे न हये तेना प्रभु रजत दास चरण बंदो दंते करी घास शक्ति वेद पुराण गुण गाय जेवा सुने ब्रह्मांड तारिते शक्ति धरे जने जने वेद पुराण गुण गाय जेवा सुने महाप्रभु गाना पापी पापी लोई मोही कथा शक्ति धरी मोही कथा शक्ति धरी मोही दम्भ मात्र करी भाग्य दोषा छामी मोहा में माने राहुल वास्ता सिद्धि है यमा पंधा छूटे जगते दुर्लभ हैया प्रेमा धन लूटे यमा बंद छूटे जगते दुर्लभ हैया पूर्ण की नंद लोभे कल्या पूर्ण अजीराते हैया दास लोभे कल्या वृंदावन भाती जट करी सवार प्रथम वंदना करी सवार Hare Krishna. This is a very beautiful song where the author is offering his obeisances to each and every Vaishnava. He is just taking his CCTV camera and searching, that wherever the Vaishnavas are living, hiding or whatever, I will just, so first of all, he does to Vrindavan. Vrindavan, whatever Vaishnavas are living, my first obeisances to them. Because of course all Vaishnavas are important, but Vrindavan Vaishnavas are still special. Because our philosophy is achintya bheda bhed. There is variety in oneness. So although all Vaishnavas are great, but Vrindavan Vaishnavas, they are really great, like that. And then he says, Nilachala, that those Vaishnavas who were associates of Mahaprabhu in Nilachal Dham, my obeisances to them. Associates of Mahaprabhu who were residing in Navadvip. So to Jagannath Puri, who and Ante Leela. And those associates in Navadvip who were the associates in Adi Leela. I worship them. Fourth paragraph. God, forgetting Nilachal and God. So Gauradesh is including the whole Bangladesh, entire West Bengal, Odisha, some part of, you can take Jharkhand also, wherever, the whole region, arena of Mahaprabhu. I worship all the Vaishnavas. See, the author is so clever that he may think that, okay, Nilachal ko kar diya, Vrindavan ko kar diya, Navadvip ko kar diya, humko chhod diya. No, it's just like we are saying ki all glories to RB voice, all glories to Navadvip voice, all glories to Nilachal voice. Then it's a whole. So I feel ki mera is done. So this is. So then J. He is saying ki not only Gauradesh, which I think this Devkinandan Thakur is a very great forecaster. He was able to see that devotees will be there everywhere. Prithvi Tyashe Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatar Prachar Hobe Nanam. So this is another, this song was written maybe few hundred years, few centuries ago. Yes? But see, he is forecasting. Je Deshe. He is not, or Je Grame, he is Je Deshe. In whichever countries of the world, my obeisances to them. And then finally, I'll just go to the last few verses. Brahmanda. Each of these Mahaprabhu's Bhakta Gana has potency to deliver the. Have that potency. That. And Vandana Karite Moi, Mahaprabhu ra Gana Sava Patita Pavana. Each devotees of Mahaprabhu are Patita Pavana. Yes. And Tara Love Moi Papi Loinu Sarana. And I am just a sinful person. Full of vasanas. Yes. And Vandana Karite Moi Kata Shakti Dhari Toma Tama Buddhi. I am not able to glorify these Vaishnavas. Their glories are endless. I am a Tama Buddhi person, always drowned into material desire, always looking for where is woman, where is money. Who am I to glorify them? But still focus on 10th verse. Tatha. But still I take dosha. Are very forgiving. They will forgive my dosha and mo adhame kare nij das. And mere jaise adham ko bhi kya karenge? Nij das. They will accept. Okay, you can also come in our IYF community. You can also be a part of it. You can also do some small sevas. So I can also hang around somewhere. Yes. So then sarva छूटे जगते दुर्लभ या प्रेम धन लूटे मनेरा वासना पूर्ण and my all the Vaishnavas will go away. And then Devakinanda Dasa यही लोभ है या. This is a love, greed. So this end, the last line is very significant. Devakinanda love means greed, and this is the price. That lolyam. There is only one price in devotional service. What is that? Lolyam. We will fall. Currently we are not serious, absolutely no problem. But if you have an intense greed, कि नहीं मेरे को वहां तक पहुंचना है, yes, I have always keeping that eye on that. Yes, a person is like sitting in a garbage and thinking of becoming a billionaire. It's something like that. So very fallen, very adham, full of vasana, full of lust, full of greed. He doesn't have a single quality of a Vaishnava, but the greed is so high. Yes. So this is the qualification. So we'll start with Prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutat Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha Namaho Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapte Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Hare Krishna. So I was just thinking that we sang this song and one such Vaishnava was His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj graced us. So I thought it is a befitting song to sing on this occasion. So many senior Vaishnavas who have arrived here, so preparing the mood to receive their blessings. And our today's topic is also very much related to that topic, is that respecting Vaishnavas. Yes, this is the topic of today which Vipin Bihari Prabhu had given me. A very befitting topic for the occasion, respecting Vaishnavas. Because so many great Vaishnavas have assembled. Yes. So Prabhuji has also given me one verse. I think that verse Prabhuji opened up. Abhishek Prabhu opened, na? Where is Abhishek Prabhu? Oh, he opened, na? 3:16? 11, na? Ah, yes. This is the verse Prabhuji has given me. Just recite the verse. Ye brahmanan maidhiya shipato richantas. Ye brahmanan maidhiya shipato richantas. Tushya dridha smita sudhokshita padma vakrata. Vanyanuraga kalaya majavad grinata. Vanyanuraga kalaya majavad grinata. Sambodhayanti aham ihavam Upaharitastaye. Ye brahmanan maidhiya shipato richachantas. Ye brahmanan maidhiya shipato richachantas. Tushya dridha smita sudhokshita padma vaktraha. Tushya dridha smita sudhokshita padma vaktraha. Vanyanuraga kalayat majavad grinata. Sambodhayanti aham ivaham upaharitastaye. Hare Krishna. We'll recite word to word meaning. Which persons? Brahmanan, the Brahmanas. Mai, in me. Dhiya, with intelligence. Shipata, uttering harsh words. Archayanta, respecting, tushyat, gladdened, hrida, hearts, smita, smiling, sudha, nectar, ukshita, wet, padma, lotus light, vaktra, faces, vanya, with words, anurag kalaya, loving, atmajavat, like a sun, grinata, praising, sambodhayanti, pacify, aham, I, eva, as, aham, I, upahrita, being controlled, tay, by them. Translation. On the other hand, they captivate my heart, who are gladdened in heart, and who, their lotus faces enlightened by nectarian smiles, respect the Brahmanas even though the Brahmanas utter harsh words. They look upon the Brahmana as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. Purport. It has been observed in many instances in the Vedic scriptures that when the Brahmanas or Vaishnavas curse someone in an angry mood, the person who is cursed does not take it upon himself to treat the Brahmanas or Vaishnavas in the same way. There are many examples of this. For instance, the son of Kuvera, when cursed by the great sage Narada, did not seek revenge in the same harsh way, but submitted. Here also, when Jay and Vijay were cursed by the four Kumaras, they did not become harsh towards them. Rather, they submitted. That should be the way of treating Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. One may sometimes be faced with a grievous situation created by a Brahman, but instead of meeting him with a similar mood, one should try to pacify him with a smiling face and mild treatment. Brahmanas and Vaishnavas should be accepted as earthly representatives of Narayana. Nowadays, some foolish persons have manufactured the term Daridra Narayana, indicating that the poor man should be accepted as a representative of Narayan, but in the Vedic literature, we do not find that poor men should be treated as representatives of Narayan. Of course, are mentioned here, but the definition of this phrase is clear from the Shastras. The poor are protected, but the Brahmana should especially be treated as a representative of Narayana and should be worshipped like him. It is specifically said that to pacify the Brahmanas, one's face should be lotus-like. A lotus-like face is exhibited when one is adorned with love and affection. In this respect, the example of the fathers being angry at the son and the sons trying to pacify the father with smiling and sweet words is very appropriate. Hare Krishna. So in our Vedic literatures, two words are used, Shreyas and Preyas. Yes, Shreyas mentioned to the permanent and ultimate goal of life, whereas Preyas mentioned to the temporary and illusory glittering of Maya, which a person chases. And the whole Vedic culture is aligned, the entire Vedic scriptures are aligned to take a person from chasing the prayers to the chasing the Shreyas. Yes, and that's why Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityuma Amritam Gamaya. The whole endeavor is to rise from Mrityu to the Amrit, is to rise from the Tama. Yes, this is the whole march of the Vedic society, and that's why Vedic society, the entire vertical advancement. There is a horizontal advancement and there is a vertical advancement. The horizontal advancement is the pravritti mark, which the Shastra choose, increasing the sense gratificatory process, increasing the facilities for eating, sleeping, mating and defending. This is pravritti mark. And a person who are lost into illusion, they are simply blind to the spiritual knowledge. They keep chasing, expanding, and think that I am a very great person. But rather they are fools, because they are getting more and more entangled into illusion. Rather, our Vedic Shastra recommend another progress. Is that the vertical progress? Is the progress of consciousness, progress of closeness to the constitutional position of the soul, to the going away and away from the ignorance of the material world. That's the actual progress which the entire Vedic civilization is marching towards. And the whole arrangement, there can be various material. So on the ground there can be various arrangement. On the horizontal axis there can be various arrangement, but the whole arrangement is to support the vertical advancement and to push the vertical advancement. We can have varnashram system, we can have many things at the horizontal plane, but it is to support the vertical advancement. That was the entire Vedic life. And that's why in terms of heroic worship, so there is a heroic worship everywhere. In the horizontal advancement, somebody who is a student of 11th, 12th, for them IIT JEE rank 1 is a hero. For people who want to expand business, for them the CEOs of Microsoft, Google, they may be the hero. The different yad acharati shreshtas. Similarly, but our Vedic culture, they say that as far as the heroic worship is concerned, as far as following is concerned, as far as following the example, should follow the vertical advancement. Yes, and that's why in the Vedic civilization, more than anybody else, the maximum respect, following was given to the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas and spiritualists. Yes, because they themselves are marching in the vertical direction, and they are the people who can take other vertical direction. And that's why they were respect with greater, because they are the people who can take us from tamas to the jyoti, from mrityu to the amritam. Yes? And all other people, they had their place. They were respected as being the part of this earthly existence. But as far as following was concerned, as far as imbibing the examples was concerned, the people always looked upon the vertical people, were rising vertical in consciousness. Yes, and that's why who is more of civilization? Advancement of civilization is advancement of consciousness. Yes, those who are higher in the ladder of consciousness, they are more advanced people, whom we have to follow. And that's what Prabhupada is telling, that such people were also called representatives of Narayan. They were seen as representatives of Lord Narayan himself on this earth planet. For whom? Because Vedescha sarve aham eva vedyo. Vedanta, because Lord has created Vedas, and the purpose of the Vedas is to know Him. So anybody who is helping in knowing Him are the representatives of the Lord. Sakshat Haritvena samasta sastra. So the Sakshat Hari, like that. So I will try to categorize 3 types of such people. So there are some people who take us from, so there are 3 modes. There is beyond 3 modes, and there is acceptance of the personality of Godhead. There are 3 categories. So there are these vertical people who take us to higher modes. They may not take us beyond modes, but they take us from the lower modes. So they are also worshipable. Examples of them, ritualistic Brahmanas, for example. So in our Krishna book we have Yogic Brahmanas. So they were respectable. But sometimes when we become devotees, there is a tendency to take. We feel like being a part of ISKCON, we have got a license to criticize such people. But such people should also be respected. Those who are people from mode of ignorance and passion to the mode of, although it falls in the material, because this is also vertical advancement. See, we should not categorize the advancement from, although we criticize mode of goodness also, but the advancement from lower modes to the higher mode is also advancement. It is also an advancement of higher consciousness. And that's why we used to have Chanakya Pandit. He has written so many verses, and Prabhupada really appreciates him. Prabhupada, what to say of appreciating him? He quotes him in the Transcendental Purports, Chanakya Pandit, because many of his principles are very powerful, from passion and ignorance to the mode of goodness. And that's why such people should be respected, irrespective of whether they are following whichever path, whichever belief they have about the absolute truth. But they must be respected. And that's why there are some people who may teach morality. There may be such people should also be respected. Although they are teaching dry morality, but they should be respected. When we meet some social workers, some people who are teaching the path of yoga, such people should be respected. And then I'll go to the second category of people who take us from this bulk of three modes to beyond the three modes. And such people are, so such people should also be respected. See, now within the spiritualist also, there can be different conception of what, there can be different conception, but such people, irrespective of their conception, should be respected. Because see, they are before, see, as a devotee we may be still be, people are beyond three modes. See, we may criticize them, this is Mayavadi, this is this is that. My God, they are beyond three modes. You have to salute them, So their position is way high. So that's why those people take the person from the three modes to beyond. People should also be respected because they are still higher in the vertical consciousness. Yes, and that's why here Lord is respecting Chaturkumaras. Chaturkumaras are devotees. When Lord is respecting them, no, they have yet not become devotees. But why he is respecting them? Because they are beyond three modes. That's why they are deserving the respect. Now, the third category of people are those who beyond three modes, beyond the Brahma Jyoti, crossing all the layers, they take a person to acceptance of the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they are what? Vaishnavas. And they are respected. And they are not only respected, we have a special respect for them. In this ladder, they are the topmost. They are taking to the ultimate authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And yes, there can be gradations. See, respect is the minimum. There can be gradations of respect. That is allowed. But disrespect is not allowed. See, gradation of respect doesn't mean disrespect. Please try to understand. We may have different levels of respect for different people. But that disrespect. This is very important. That's why we may have special reverence for Vaishnavas. Yes? Because they are taking us to the ultimate authority of Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are Vaishnavas. Now, let me go to, now we will enter into this third category. We are Vaishnavas, we will discuss that. So now, putting off the third category of people. So I think there will be so many things which will be coming in the way. So please remember, I don't have, like Chaitanya Chandra uses that pen and something. I thought some whiteboard would have been there, we are drawn, because it is easy to co-link what is going on, follow. Yes, but still, please remember it. There's simple things telling. So now, pull out the third category of people. Now, within the third category also there are three types. There's a Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama. So, now why to respect Kanishta? I'll tell you. See, this Kanishta Adhikari, we may say neophyte devotee, fight neophyte. Sometime, by getting properly trained under some spiritual master, suppose somebody has got properly trained under Radhesham Prabhu or somebody, he again gets people. So, so many times the mind is searching for license. How to, after becoming Vaishnava, we get a license to criticize Brahmanas. And if we learn Vaishnava etiquettes, we have learned. We have just gone to VIHE or MIHE and got Bhakti Vaibhav and learned plethora of knowledge. Then we come to criticize the neophyte devotees. तुमको ये भी नहीं आता है, तुम तो ये भी स्टैंडर्ड नहीं जानते हो, है ना? Like that. Even a Kanishta. Because see, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, a Kanishta Adhikari is way a spiritualist. Because he has accepted and with grateful heart to Jagannath. He is worshipable. He is respectable. He deserves our respect. Yes. And in another, because that process, because see, any those great Maharajas whom we are worshipping today, they have also gone through that process. They may be somewhere in between the lines, many years ago or few lifetimes ago. Few lifetimes ago, they may be also a Kanishta Adhikari. Yes. So why even a Kanishta? Because first of all, he has accepted the authority of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is very rare. Second, he entered the process of becoming purified. He has entered, Prabhupada used to say, ISKCON is a factory of pure devotees. So he has undergone into the first machine of becoming pure. Of course, he has already entered the and he is respectable. He may have a lot of fault. And that's why sometimes we misunderstand two words. It's not you have to associate with. And that's why association is with Madhyam Adhikari. See, sometimes we think that these two things has to be always anti. See, whom we are associating with and whom I am not associating with, that means disrespect. I can respect the collective in whose association I take. And I take doesn't mean disrespect. Very subtle. So mind is always looking for license. So you have to be very careful. So that's why I can be respectful to the entire Vaishnava community. Yes, but I can still associate only with the choosy people, whom I feel will uplift me in Krishna consciousness. Now, these people who I have chosen to associate, they may be also having some fault, but why I associate with them? Because they have gained sufficient momentum towards the spiritual world. They have not yet reached purity. They are still not lurking in neophyteness, but they have gained sufficient momentum with some faults are not predominant. So in the neophyte devotee, the and less dominant is devotional service. But in the Madhya service, with maybe some impurity lurking here and there, and which may sometime come out, but that also doesn't give us license to disrespect them, because we acknowledge that they have gained sufficient momentum. Their good qualities has surpassed their bad qualities. Now they have very little bad qualities remaining, and most of it is good quality. So when we see those little bad quality, that again doesn't give the license to pull them from Madhyam to Kanishta or to demean them. Yes, still they deserve what? Respect. And now with high level consciousness, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that within Madhyam also there are three categories: Kanishta Madhyam, Madhyam Madhyam, Uttam Madhyam. So now the category which I am going to talk now is either Uttam Madhyam or he's just again I don't have pen, but the three categories are there. So they are just touching the upper and entering into the zone of Uttama. As of course, because see why I am telling why I am taking this layer. Why not directly go to Uttama? But these Uttam people are very less actually. Even if you search, you can count on fingers how many are existing. Hardly, you can count on fingers. That's why I am touching this layer of people also. Because sometimes for our upliftment, we have to seek, because such people we may find still some good in number. We can take their association. Yes. So because they are, because Prabhupada used to say that this Uttam Madhyam people, he is as good as a pure devotee. Because he is soon going to become a pure devotee. And so Prabhupada categorized them into pure devotees only. Yes. So now this Uttam people, we worship them. They are worshipable. Yes. They are free from all faults. And they are worshipable. So this is the category of respect, I told. So I think everybody is following. Initially we talked about 3 categories. From lower modes to higher modes, beyond 3 modes, to the authority of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now within that Vaishnavas, we again talked about 3 categories. And we saw that why this initial 3 categories and this final 3 categories. Now again zooming into the final one, that is Madhyam and Uttama. Now we will take this slice out and let us try to analyze them. Because this verse is talking about such people. See, these Chatur Kumaras, they were at very high level, but still there was some misunderstanding. So now at the people who have already reached to very high level of consciousness, sometimes we may even misunderstand them. Now we will talk about that. These are known as paradox sometimes. Paradox means, my God, such a high level person, but still he is behaving like this. Difficult. See, Kanishta behaving immaturely, we have no problem. But suppose we see the same thing into a person of high level of caliber, then, yes? So now we will take out, because here this verse is talking about such people. Chatur Kumara fall in that category, and of course in the purport Prabhupada is giving example of Narad Muni Karsing, Nal Kuver and Mani. Narad Muni also falls in Uttam category. Of course, it is beyond Uttam, but they are following in that. So now, in the initial 3 categories which we discussed, we took out the top people. Now again in that, there were 3 categories. Now again we are taking the top people. And now let us zoom into it, yes, and try to analyze it. That how to keep respecting a person of high level of consciousness when we see a contradictory behavior in them. Yes, this is the topic which we are going to discuss, respect. So now, here again I'll have 3 categories. So here 3 categories of such people who have gone to the high level of consciousness. First one, the high level of consciousness is resting in a physical framework. Physical framework means there's a high level of consciousness resting in a physical body and a physical mind. Because mind and body is still material elements. Now within that consciousness, and see, sometime we may feel contradictory, but a high level of consciousness can exist into a physical framework. Yes, I will give you some examples. For example, a devotee initially was very strict, very particular about certain things. ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, वैसा ही होना चाहिए, है ना? And he becomes, elevated, practices very sincerely, and he goes to the Madhyam, Uttam Madhyam. Yes. Now he may still maintain the tendency of being very particular. He may become in charge in a particular city, but he may maintain that tendency कि नहीं ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, सारे voices ऐसे ही run करने चाहिए. There should not be any discrepancies. And Krishna also doesn't have problem, because it is not service. Krishna may still maintain it. That's why in different varieties of body and mind, a high level of consciousness can rest. Like there's some Maharajas who will come, and if you ask They don't need any prasad. कुछ fruit दे दो, खा के रह जाएंगे, है ना? Like I was in Singapore, so one Maharaj used to come, Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj. People used to say he only drink air and water. so when that in their house, Maharaj just breathe air and sometimes he needs some. So very, there is you tell their favorite food items also. I like this. Now both are work. And see now food preference. I like aloo paratha, for example. Krishna also that doesn't that anyway doesn't slacken their devotional service. They can live with it. Like grandmother in the childhood named him Kachodi Mukhi. He's too fond of kachodis. And Prabhupada at the Paramhamsa level, he maintained his taste for kachodis. There is no problem. Krishna doesn't have any problem. That devotee has no problem. It's life goes on. Yes. So certain physical can still remain, and that high conscious. See, matter, lot of dislike for matter. Actually, matter. Prabhupada in one teachings of Kapila Deva writes, matter. What is the problem? Attachment to matter is the problem. Let the matter be there. What is the problem? Yes. So matter. Sometimes matter. Sometimes what is the problem? रहने दो, आप तो भक्ति करते रहेंगे, माला करते रहो. Problem क्या है? Like we had example of, give very high level of example of Pundrik Vidyanidhi. Now this Pundrik Vidyanidhi was holding the consciousness of a Gopa, very high level consciousness, within the framework of long hairs. He will comb his hairs, he will chew pan, he will resting on a silken bed. There is so many servants around him. And when Gadadhar Pandit saw, his focus was on that framework. But within that was not visible. And then who was that devotee who brought him? Mukunda brought Gadadhar Pandit to Pandit Vidyanidhi. So Mukunda consciousness from that framework and show it explicitly. That he started reciting the verses of Bhagavatam, and Pandit Vidyanidhi became mad. He started throwing everything. He destroyed everything around him. Yes? And then Gadadhar Pandit understood, my God, he's so elevated, took initiation from him. Yes? So see, so now Pandit Vidyanidhi doesn't have to get rid of all those things. He can be with those things and he still can maintain a high level of consciousness. Like Sanatana Goswami was used to chant Hare Krishna in his ashram, and this Parasmani, which churned everything into gold, used to kept outside his ashram. He just kept it, but it doesn't affect Sanatana Goswami. And you know that pastime, some Brahmana comes and Sanatana Goswami gives. Sanatana Goswami was not having sometimes too much hatred for material things is also another side of attachment. See, those who are attached, better than them is who are detached. But there is still one more higher. Better than them, do you know what? Better than are those who are neither attached, detached. वो है तो है ना? कभी यूज पड़ा तो भगवान की सेवा में लगा दिया. यूज नहीं है, रखे रहने दो, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? अपना माला करते रहो. This is still higher. And that's why Prahlad Maharaj says, I don't want to go to Himalayas to escape matter. मैं तो वीर्य गाये न महामृता magna chitta. I can live among worldly people. I can live in Bangalore city and still be magna chitta. You know? Now in the traffic also, like people get frustrated कि traffic क्यों है? बजाते रहो horn. But But I came to know about one devotee. वो ट्रैफिक में फंस गया, प्रभुपाद लेक्चर सुनते, एसी चालू करो, प्रभुपाद लेक्चर सुनते रहो, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? रास्ता मिलेगा चलाओ, नहीं मिला और बैठ, माला है ना, माला कंप्लीट कर लो, है कि नहीं? So है ना, तो sometime है ना, Krishna may not remove certain physical traits, certain physical qualities of body and mind, because Krishna doesn't feel कि it's anti-devotional service, and he himself doesn't feel any hindrance to it. Let it be there. है ना? Somebody can do lot of austerity, है ना? Somebody can eat nicely, and still he can chant very nicely. No problem. So that is the first category. Why sometimes there can be contradictory behavior. First category is physical. Like I will tell you. I had gone to Singapore. I saw temple president of there. He was having BMW. My God, what a posh car! And in Singapore, to maintain BMW is very, because see, Singapore government encourages people to reduce car. So the more costly car you purchase, there is a car tax. Means you have to pay a heavy price to keep a car there, because government doesn't want you to keep car. So now this devotee was having BMW. My God, I thought, my God, what kind? And I was just recently passed out from voice. So वो थोड़ा बहुत भी कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट नहीं हुआ. मैं बोला कि बाप रे बाप, वो BMW के साथ कोई इतना एडवांस डिवोटी कैसे हो? मैं But then over the years when I saw his dedication, my God, when he's sitting in the car, he doesn't know that he's BMW or what. You know, my God, means he used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and complete his 12 rounds till 4:30 Mangal Aarti, then complete his 16 round, 1 hour Bhagavatam reading, you know, then going to office, in the office reading 1 more hour Bhagavatam, you know, then coming back from there, reading 1 more hour Bhagavatam in the home, 2-3 hours Bhagavatam in a day reading, you know, and GBC meeting, it become GBC also now. Then giving time to 2-3 childrens, you know. Then sleeping he was telling, I always sleep later than 10 o'clock. He told, I have never slept in my life more than 5 hours. 5 is the maximum hours I have slept, and my body is gone. And she is saying, I am following this routine of getting at 3 o'clock since last 22 years. Such elevated. So now whether he sit in, so now when he became a devotee, he doesn't have to degrade to Maruti 800 to show that I am a great devotee. He can maintain BMW and still he can be a great devotee. He doesn't have to hate BMW. So, it's not that till the time he doesn't come down to Santro or till that time I will not acknowledge his. So we can say a high level of consciousness sitting in BMW. Perfectly fine. Krishna has no problem. That devotee has no problem. Only a neophyte devotee like me has some problem. Yes. So this is the first category of people, physical framework. Time is less, I'll move fast. So that's the first category. Second category is transcendental framework. Now, see, in the physical framework, still we have a hope. Okay, till the time body is there, he is behaving like that. But once the body is dissolved, maybe as an Atma, he will behave very nicely. But sometimes transcendental rasa, there is transcendental framework, where as a liberated Atma also a person may behave, like Nityananda Prabhu. Now, Nityananda Prabhu is Satchitananda. Does Nityananda Prabhu have body and mind like us? No, he is Satchitananda. You know? But sometimes but Nityananda Prabhu is like this eternally. You know? Sometimes Nityananda Prabhu, you know, I think Shivanand Sen, he was doing yatra management, you know, and prasadam was delayed. Nityananda Prabhu could not get prasadam. Nityananda Prabhu just kicked on his chest, and Shivanand Sen, when he got the chest, kick on his chest, like, my God, your lotus feet touched me. You know, your lotus feet is desirable by even Lord Shiva and Brahma. Yes, he is like that eternally. You know, even if you go to spiritual world, maybe you may encounter Balramji. You know, when he came, he saw this Rom Harsana Sutta sitting like a proud on Vyasasana. You know, and see, and that's why when we sit on Vyasasana to give class, we should be humble. Otherwise, Balramji may be My God, this person is thinking he's so great. and maybe his last day, on the so that's why he is very careful, sitting on this seat. Yes. So Balram just cut it. That's all, and he's eternally like that. You cannot expect any improvement from him because you have to accept Balramji like that. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, one who accepts me but doesn't accept Nityananda, he is rejected fellow. He will never get my mercy. He has to accept Nityananda as he is, not an improved version or something like that. It's transcendental like this. Now we have the associates of Nityananda Prabhu, Abhiram Thakur. His way of giving mercy was completely different. If he worships a deity which is not worship property, deities will break. If he pays obeisances to some devotee who is still having karma and jnana tendency, that devotee will die. And he will have one whip, koda. Its name was Jai Mangal. He will beat a person, and that person will feel Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then he will take that koda and give one more, and he will say Radhe, Radhe. That was his way of giving mercy. And this Abhiram Thakur is like this eternally. See, he was not born. Abhiram Thakur was picked up from this cave of Vrindavan, this Sridhama. Sridhama was waiting since Dwapar Yuga in Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu told, all our associates have come. Sridhama is left. Then somebody told, Arey Lord, since Dwapar Yuga is still waiting in the caves of Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu was sent. Mahaprabhu told, go, he's your associates, Balaram associates. And go and fetch him. And he was, when Sridhama was called from cave, Balaram told, Sridhama, come. And all of our toli, all of our group of Braj Leela have again descended in Gaur Leela. You are missing in that. Mahaprabhu is remembering you. He told, who are you? Because Nityananda Prabhu was looking Kalyug size. And Sridhama was very tall, Dwapar Yug size. You are tiny fellow, who are you? I am Balai. Balai means Balaram. I am Balai. Don't you recognize your Balaram? Hey, you fellow, Balaram is a strong fellow. You are a tiny fellow. How can you be Balaram? Then he told, only Balaram can match my speed in running. If you can match my speed, I will consider you are a Balaram. So then Sridhama started running and he ran 4 rounds of Govardhan. And Balaram was keeping perfect pace. I accept you are Balaram. Mahaprabhu is remembering you. But then he told, no, I don't want to take birth from womb of a mother in Kali Yuga. And Mahaprabhu will make arrangement. It directly came from Dwapar Yuga to Gaur Leela. No birth in between. And he is eternally like this. There used to be one more devotee of Nityananda Prabhu. He will jump upon you. As soon as he will see you, Prabhu, he will jump upon you and he will start slapping your back and say, Haribol, Haribol. No, he is eternally like that. Now this is transcendental framework which is known as transcendental rasa. And you cannot do anything. See, in the first category, physical framework, you can wait for that devotee to leave the body so that all the bodily effects will go away. But in the second category, there is no hope. You have to accept the devotee as it. You have to accept the transcendental rasa. It's like that. Yes, Satyabhama. Now, if you go to Dwarka Palace, Satyabhama, she is like my wife only, troubling Krishna. Just like my wife troubled Krishna, this wife is troubling. Satyabhama is too obstinate. Krishna, I want this. You may sometimes get confused that she is very attached lady. What is this? But Satyabhama is eternally like that. What can you do? She cannot be improved. You have to accept Satyabhama like that. So now, Sudama Brahman. Now the Sudama Brahman is too poor, very poor. When Krishna gave him wealth, he kept his wife and children in that palace and took a hut nearby the palace. He never lived in the palace actually. So now it is said, I think I'm just forgetting which Acharya. When Acharya does Tika on this section, and he says there are two kinds of devotee. He gives some technical name to them. I'm just forgetting the Sanskrit name. This is the second category of devotees. They doesn't want any wealth. There is exclusive prayer to Krishna that Krishna, even if I come in your Leela, please don't give any wealth. Please. And that's why this Sudama, when he comes in Gaur Leela, he becomes Suklambar Brahmachari. That time he was begging this chipped rice. This time he was having rice. And that is broken rice. After making rice, the below a broken rice, nobody was given. And that time Krishna took his poha. This time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was a kirtan. In that kirtan everybody was dancing. And Suklambar Brahmachari used to maintain a very humble position because I am a beggar. Suklambar Brahmachari was a beggar. In the end he was dancing, very blissful he was dancing. And Mahaprabhu while dancing was looking at him only. So seen his attitude. Mahaprabhu went very silently and put his hand in his bag and took out the broken rice and told, my God, this is the source of Krishna Prem. And he told Sudama, there is no surprise that you are like this because you are always like that. Sudama want to be like that. You cannot improve him. You cannot give him training कि प्रभु जी है ना चलता है ना क्या हो गया कृष्णा के सर्विस के लिए थोड़ा ऑपुलेंस एक्सेप्ट भी कर लिया तो क्या हुआ. Why you are too attached to poverty? Why you want to remain poor? है ना भगवान की सेवा के लिए सब चलता है ना युक्त वैराग्यम उच्यते. You cannot tell this verse to Sudama is eternally like that. He will be like that. He is not going to improve. So this is transcendental framework where a devotee can behave like that. We have Durvasa Muni. His anger. He sometimes becomes very angry. It's his nature to become angry. He is empowered like that. Like that. And then third category which I will tell is utility. Now, what is utility category is a person may not have physically those things, a person may not have transcendently those things, but a person may use it for certain missionary purpose. Like Prabhupada willingly becoming angry on some disciple. Because Prabhupada knows that I have to show my anger. That is using the anger in Krishna service. It doesn't exist in the physical framework. It doesn't exist in the transcendental framework. But it's using. Sometimes a devotee may act in a certain way so that certain service can be done. Now Prabhupada, he was a very transcendental person, but he entered into management. Is it like Prabhupada likes management? Or Prabhupada eternally in Golok Vrindavan is doing management? No. But for the service to be done, he has to become strict. He has to become systematic. Else ISKCON will not run only. Things will scatter. So sometime a devotee may use certain thing. He needs, like Narad Muni becoming angry with Nal Kuver and Manigiri. Is it like Narad Muni is an angry person in general? Is he like Durvasa Muni? No. He is a blissful person. Is it like Narad Muni is having some body and mind which is full of anger from previous birth? No. Even in his previous birth, he was a sober child. Narada boy, he was a good person. So now, why is Narad Muni becoming angry on Nal, Kuber and Manigriv? Utility principle. So the third category is what? Utility. Sometimes you use the anger, you use certain behavior so that things can get done in the mission of Lord. Yes? So this is the third category of people. And that's why a pure devotee's consciousness is like a sweet mango. Now, the peel of the mango can look different. Sometimes the mango, when it is being carried, sometimes some mangoes can little bit fall down. Some mangoes were at the periphery of the box. Some mangoes were in between the box and they got too much of heat. But the mango content remains the same. Although from outside, the mangoes may look different. The peel may look a little different. Some mangoes may have black spots. Some mango may look perfectly clean. But the inner juice content is same. So that's why we have to respect them because we need their mercy. Although their physical framework, transcendental framework, their utility may be whatever, but we are after that ras, which is inside them. Krishna Prem. Ami to Kangala, Krishna Krishna Boli. Because see, Krishna doesn't give Prem. Krishna's way of giving devotional service in this world is that he doesn't put a matchstick and burns the light of Krishna consciousness. He says, one more candle is burning, you go and take your candle and burn it. This doesn't exist in this world. Krishna doesn't ignite a fire. Somebody else has a fire, you go and take that fire from him. So sometimes we have to tolerate it. Sometimes we may not understand it. But knowing that this is the only way out. And that's why Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj says that sometimes the contradictory behavior of a pure devotee is like, you suppose a hunter has gone to fetch honey from a beehive. Now when he goes to fetch honey, there is loads of honey. So much of honey, and the hunter is greedy for that honey. But while he is going to fetch the honey, the bees are biting him. A person who tolerates the bite of the bee can only reach to the real honey and extract it. But a person who by the biting of the honey goes away, run away, my God, I don't want, he will be bereft of it. Sometimes certain devotee can speak little harshly. Sometimes we have done some mistake and somebody can shout at us. But we are after that honey. We have to tolerate it. And that's the austerity to receive that mercy. Yes? It may not always be. Some devotees are very sweet. So, but still, we have to tolerate these three categories of contradictory behavior sometimes. Knowing that their consciousness is like a gold. But sometimes on the gold, there can be different case in which the golds are kept. Some gold is kept in a wooden box, some gold is kept in a different box, but gold is gold. The box doesn't changes the nature of gold. So pure devotee's heart is like 24 karat gold. That's why we are seeking that gold, and that's why we should not offend it. So now the last part of my lecture, I'll just take last 5 minutes to mention what is the practical solution to deal with it. Because this is the last part of the lecture I will speak. Practical solution to deal with it. So in the practical solution also again I will speak 3 things. So first thing to deal with practical is that first of all approach a pure devotee when we don't have to encounter their physical or transcendental framework. Example, when a devotee is sitting on Vyasasana, we don't have to deal with that framework. He will speak very pure Krishna Katha. Even the most angry, even if you make Durvasa Muni to sit on Vyasasana, you will like Durvasa Muni. He will speak pure Krishna Katha. So, first practical solution is that don't go too close. First of all, encounter a pure devotee when you don't have to encounter his framework. Like Vyasasana, he sab ho gaya, hai na? Like we had many Maharajas coming, they speak, hai na? Hear their kirtan, hai na? Know their glories, hai na? Etc. First solution. Hai na? And once you develop respect for them, once you get fully convinced that he is gold, then we can go too close and see the container in which that gold is also kept. So first get convinced that it is gold. That's why Vani Seva is first important. Because in the Vani Seva is transcendental. Prabhupada used to say this Vapu is a medium to transmit the Vani. So don't encounter Vapu much. In general, it's always good to encounter the Vani, because in that we don't have to encounter their any framework. Yes. Once we get fully convinced about it, so then the second solution is that then we can make a certain vicinity around them. That is accepting somebody as our guide, accepting one of them as our spiritual master. Then we can, because then we can tolerate all those things. We know Maharaj is transcendental. Although Maharaj is becoming angry on me, it's my own purification. But that conviction will come when you do the first solution. So first, don't encounter their physical framework only. And that's why sometimes devotees become too much eager. I will go to Maharaj's room, I will see this, I will see that, how Maharaj eat. It's not good. It's not good to too much observe a pure devotee's bodily activity. You will say, अरे ये तो मेरे जैसा ही खाता है. अरे रोटी पे रोटी मांगने जा रहा है. 2 रोटी हो गया, 3 रोटी, 4 रोटी, कितना खाएगा? मैं भी इतना ही खाता हूँ. My God, है ना? Hey, there is a लौकी सब्जी, there is a पनीर सब्जी. Among that, he is choosing पनीर. Bewildered हो जाएंगे. My God, what is going on? On Vyasasana, he talks about Vacho Vegam, Mansa Krodh Vegam. So better, in the first, don't go too near to pure devotees. Hear their want. Then once we get fully convinced that they are 24 karat gold, then we can, we have the power to sustain it. We have purity to sustain it. There's another third solution. In the neophyte stage, sometime it is better that not only the person is transcendental, but his external behavior also matches our frequency. We may choose such person also as a guide. That is also possible. Because the transcendental consciousness is existing in different boxes. Different boxes. We may choose that box which is matching our expectation or our conception of a pure devotee or advanced devotee. And that's why we have different varieties of guides. So that's why ISKCON is like a family, where we may not gel with one devotee, we may not able to understand one devotee's glory too much. Maybe we are having some problem. We may take up another devotee guidance, whom we may be thinking, who may be matching our so-called conception, so-called frequency. That's in the neophyte stage. So these are the 3 solutions. The first solution is, first don't Vani. Once Vani is coming, then we can go to the vicinity. And the third one is that we, sometimes if we are feeling disturbed, too much disturbed, we can seek clarification, we can hear about their glories more. Or if it is still disturbing too much, ISKCON is giving so much of plethora of options to us. We can shift to that devotee who can match our so-called framework. We have certain conception of a framework कि devotee का ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. Devotee means silent. कुछ devotee who are coming from yogic background to brahminical background, devotee एकदम होना चाहिए ऐसा है, शांति है ना, ज़्यादा ना बोले. We have such Maharajas like Sukdev Maharaj. Maharaj is very, we can approach such, If you have such devotees, whom we want, who should be very dynamic, we may approach Amog Leela Prabhu. A plethora. So ISKCON is giving a plethora of high level of consciousness in different boxes. We may choose that box which will suit us. अंदर का माल तो सेम है, अंदर से कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस ही मिलेगा, कुछ और नहीं मिलेगा. That's why. And the ultimate solution is to raise our own spiritual consciousness. See, when we are stuck in the bodily conception of life, we take others' bodily conception too seriously. Too seriously. When we are ourselves, See, those who are in transcendental plane, like once I was having some problem with certain type of devotees. And I asked Radheshyam Prabhu, Prabhuji, I am having problem with this nature of this type of devotees. And I saw that Radheshyam Prabhu is having no problem. Radheshyam Prabhu is asking, what problem you have with this thing? अरे ये तो छोटी चीज से आपको प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. And I was surprised, my God, this person is having no problem with, because he is at transcendental plane. And this petty material framework doesn't matter. I know certain devotees who have come from certain background, still neophyte, they sometimes they have difficulty in hearing from Maharajas from African background. उनको अभी भी वो conception है black and white का. So better such devotee, because they are still at bodily platform. So when we are stuck in the bodily platform, we will have too much problem with the bodily varieties of devotees. ऐसा क्यों है, वैसा क्यों है, ऐसा क्यों खाता है, वैसा क्यों बोलता है. When we ourselves see ourselves as a soul, Atma Sakshatkar, we can see others also as a soul. What we are, what we see. So uplift your own consciousness. You can see others also at the consciousness level. Other things will become superfluous. Other things will become immaterial. Other things will look very little. That's the ultimate solution. And that's why the minimum is that please don't offend. If you see some differences, please tolerate it. Please tolerate it. That's why when Rahu Gana, he's offering prayers to Jada Bharat, he's saying, I am not afraid of Yamraj. I am not afraid of karmic reactions. Do you know, I am afraid of only one thing. Do you know what? Offending a devotee. And that's why if you see some apparent problem with some devotee or something, better go away from there, but don't offend. See, don't associate with devotees, that's perfectly fine. But don't offend, minimum. That's the basic minimum we should come to the level. No offense. No offense should be our motto. It should be etched in our subtle body. Offense तो exist, हमारे डिक्शनरी में exist ही नहीं करता है. अगर कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है किसी डिवोटी से, कोई डिवोटी हमारे बगल में कोई डिवोटी खूब प्रसाद मांग मांग के खा रहा है, बेटर प्रसाद का पोजीशन चेंज कर लो, लेकिन उसको देख देख के ऐसा उसके बारे में फैलाओ मत, उसका वीडियो बना के बिना वायरल मत करो. So no offense should be our motto. Even in our rarest dream, even in our dream a devotee comes, in the dream also we should not offend. The basic minimum criteria. Not able to understand, run away from there, clarify, do anything, but don't offend. That's the basic criteria we should use. Yes. So with this message, we'll try to end today's class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I think the class would have been more interesting if we would have some graphics. Should draw. होता है इसमें? Next time we can use. So maybe there's one more topic which is remaining: how to deal with devotees during service. No, this was fine. During service and management, how to overcome that. There's another big topic. Maybe some other time we will discuss that. Okay. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. You have question? हाँ, yes, please. Brahmins. Yes, understood. See, at our level, what I think that first of all, we should not hear them. That's the first criteria. That's the basic minimum criteria. We should not hear them. And second, people like Prabhupada, he was really very upset with such people. See, if you have some conception, you do, but why you are polluting Bhagavatam? That's Prabhupada's question. You have your own literature, you read. Okay, you are Shiva Bhakta, read Shiva Puran, no problem. But why you are entering into another zone, trying to pollute it? That's Prabhupada's question. So now, see, Prabhupada had capacity to face them. If you think that you are quite capable, if you think that you have developed that high level of consciousness, you can go and convince them, you can go and fight with them. We can do that. But at least in my state, I feel, and I am struggling with my own basic Krishna consciousness. So for me the best solution is that I remain away from him, and at least I can inspire my near and dear ones to not go to him. Those who are already stuck in that, I don't have capacity to handle them, but I have capacity to handle myself, and I have a capacity to handle my near dear ones. At least I will protect them from him. And as I go higher and higher and higher, once I develop a higher metal, then I will face them. I think it will depend on the adhikar of a devotee. No, it's fine, but we don't have to, because see, so now you are talking about this category. There are so many things going in the world. Whom will we fight? Okay, we may keep this person silent. Other person is doing another thing. So many bogus things going on. In whose society will you go and what? You will do what? The entire lifetime will go. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was encountering Up Sampradaya. Now this, what to say of them doing it? Within Vaishnava community there is so much of Up Sampradaya going on. Maybe within our own devotee communities, so many things may be going on. Whom will you encounter? So best policy is to save ourselves and not hear them. And if we have reached to the bit higher category, I am not saying we don't have to fight with them. Like Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he likes to fight with such people. So we need to have that, but Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has that metal also. So if we have that metal, we can fight. Otherwise, best is we protect. See, who have already gone, best is to protect new people from going there. Innocent people we can deal with. We can convince them. Those are already there. We can say Hari Bol. This is one of the characteristics of Madhyam Adhikari. Avoid envious. Uttam Adhikari can deal with them. Madhyam Adhikari avoid them. And Kanishta Adhikari, he doesn't have any ability to do any of them. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, please. Madhva? Mahatma Gandhi. I think the principle is that even in the stool, gold is there, pick it up. And good qualities. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took two principles from each Vaishnava Sampradaya. Now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Udupi, he was actually critical to those people. They were saying, your Madhvacharya has taught pure devotional service. But okay, defeating Mayavad is good, going deeper into Jnana is good. But the purpose is to go to devotional service ultimately. So Mahaprabhu was trying to inspire Madhvas, that you have to push forward. Like that. So, but Mahaprabhu took two principles from Madhvacharya Sampradaya also. So sometime in a good place you may find little dirt, and we have to criticize that dirt. Sometime in a dirty place there may be something good, and we have to appreciate that good. I think you understood. I am again repeating these two lines. Sometime in a good place there can be some dirt, and we have to call dirt a dirt. Suppose within our ISKCON community something wrong is happening, some devotee is behaving in a certain way. We cannot say no, he is transcendental. We have to correct him. We have to declare boldly that this is a wrong behavior. We cannot hide it. Yes. Similarly, in a wrong place there is something little good. Like Prabhupada appreciated this Ramakrishna mission, completely opposite philosophy. But I think Prabhupada told one of his disciples to go and see their ashram structure or something like that. Some physical structure of their ashram. Prabhupada told his disciple, they are doing this thing very good. So although their philosophy is completely opposite to us, but whatever is good Prabhupada took. So the principle is that a pure devotee, whatever is good he says good, whatever is bad he says bad. Although bad can exist in good place and good can exist in bad place. And this is the principle. Utility is the principle, Prabhupada said. Purity is the force, utility is the principle. Utilize everything. Utilize Mahatma Gandhi also in Krishna's service. That's the Hare Krishna. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय.
Thank his Abhijit Prabhu for wonderfully explaining different types of respect, different categories in respect. Thank you, Prabhuji. And by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Devotees can proceed for the